You go ahead. What do you know about the seven hermetic principles?
The seven hermetic principles.
Why is it seven hermetic principles, and what does it correlate to?
Every system is either a system of seven or a system of 12.
But
Every
But
system.
why?
12 is completion in the six. 3, 6, 9, 12.
No, the seven. We're talking about the hermetic principles. What does it correlate to?
Seven is knowledge. It's the balance between. Is right in between 6 and 8, between nurturing and balance.
Yeah, you're looking at it in the sense of numerology and whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it in a holistic sense, meaning, well, why is it so important? It's the whole system. And the reason okay, so you have seven major planets, right?
Yeah.
Okay, seven major organs. They correlate to seven major organs in your body. Seven senses. I know most people think you have five, but you have seven.
Thoughts and feelings are also
Thoughts,
senses.
Yes, your thoughts and your emotions are senses that can be programmed. So how do we get to it? How do they encompass it all? So your 26 letters of the alphabet, right? The 9 numbers, that's all that exists, right? The 12 planets and the 5 seals. The 5 seals: air, earth, water, fire, and space. Nama Shivaya. And you add them all up, that's 52. Well, 5 plus 2 is 7. And that's how, because explain something to me outside of the alphabet, or count something outside 1 through 9.
See, this dude explains shit way better than I do.
You see,
way better.
So and then show me something, even if it's a material stuff. Show me something that's not from air, earth, water, or fire. And if it's a physical something, show me you don't occupy space. Right. So this is what you are. So when you talk about, like, people don't even understand their own needs. If you don't understand what you are, if you don't know 2/3 of your food come from the sun and 1/3 come from the earth, which is food, then your nutrients and stuff, then you will never understand, and then you could be enslaved easily. If you don't know your thoughts and your emotions or senses, then you could feel like every thought you coming up with are independent, and you're some independent person. But just think about this.
Not realizing they're being influenced.
When you listen to a song, where your emotions be?
In the song.
Right. Just vibration alone will take you somewhere. You see? And then give you way to thought. See? So it's always vibration first. See? That always vibration first.
And most of you that do music or are attuned with the industry, you know that they do everything at 444
right. That's another
megahertz or gigahertz, however the fuck it goes, when it's supposed to be 432.
And that's another thing. Like everything is supposed to be a certain kind of way, right? Because then you feel different. That's why live bands, live instruments, when you play other synthesized music, is like colder music. You see?
And if you are in the industry, that they will not allow you to put your music at anything other than 444 or what is it? 440.
Yeah, 440, I think.
440 gigahertz. You know what I'm saying? They will not. If you signed, you have no control over that aspect, except maybe motherfuckers who own their masters, which are not in tune in that sense. You know what I'm saying? So I know from experience. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of people that don't understand, like for example, right? So this guy on sports radio, on sports TV, Stephen A. Smith, like he got a big voice. He talk loud and he talk a lot of stuff, and he always talking down to black athletes and stuff. Like if you watch this dude, you might have a problem with him. Here's what happened. I don't know if he know or he do it on purpose or whatever, but the whole system, what he do is he criticize a lot of dudes for not being part of something. And if somebody speak out against something, he's like, well, oh, you got to go to work. Or it was one that Kyrie Irving said that, oh, he's not working his boycott. It's like slave masters and whatever. He's like, oh, we're not showing up to work. It took us a long time to get here. Well, here's how the system is. The system is the casino, and he's basically saying, oh, I'm gonna go try to get my share at the casino. But you're never gonna beat it. What about all the other people that can't? You know, it's like, how do you fight against a system
That's rigged.
that's, if you make $1, they make more, and you being oppressed anyway. You see, so you have to create your own system, because it is that whole thing where it's like, if you don't know, or you believe certain things and you don't know where these ideas are coming from. Most people don't read. Most people don't research. Most people don't know that there's 3 types of citizens in the United States of America. They don't know what a 14th Amendment citizen or a U.S. citizen or a state citizen. They don't know the difference between public and private. They don't know what they screaming about Trump all day long. Why they don't get Trump taxes? Because they don't understand public and private. They could do it too. See, they don't understand the difference what a private trust is, that nobody could get into it.
A 14th Amendment slave, citizen is a slave. What was the other one? A state citizen.
You have all your rights.
Is a nationalist.
Yeah.
And what was the other one?
The U.S. citizen
is also a slave,
you
but
no
with
rights.
with the
Privileges.
Yeah, with
That's
privileges, with the sense of the thought of being free, but
That's
not
why-
actually being free. Look, I didn't even know what the fuck they were, but I know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't give a fuck about none of that shit.
But it go back to the idea of the whole idea of what is the whole point of it. If you go learn something, how do you implement it? How do you be independent for real? Because like we had this discussion before, you're like, it's hard. You still got to go to work. You still got to get, because you're born into this bullshit ass system. So then how do you get out of it? You see how hard it is. They make it for you to get out of it, right?
Yeah.
So all the information, just basic education, like the most misinformed, more ignorant people are the ones with the college degrees.
What'd you say?
Those are the ones that's the most.
The most ignorant are the ones with what?
No, they're misinformed because they go to school and they pay for a bunch of bullshit. Ask them who Cristobal Colon is. They'll be like, "Who's that?"
You know who Cristobal Colon is?
That's Christopher Columbus. See?
Or you know who Michael King is?
Or like when they talk about when I say that the civil rights movement was a big failure and it was all hijacked and took over, they were like, well, why would you say that? I was like, desegregation was the worst thing that happened to black people. We're like, why would you say that? We're like, because Martin Luther King was endorsed by Pepsi. Like go look. When you get an endorsement, you get a contract. There's non-disclosure agreements and whatever. What you could say, what you can't say, all these things. Why do you think they hustle and endorse Kaepernick when he did that knee thing? Nike hustle and endorse him. Because once you get an endorsement,
Gotta follow the rules or you lose that money.
You see?
Gotta follow the rules. Just the fact that there's rules should be a problem.
It's if you get this is why most of our leaders in the black community, their voices has been hijacked just for materialistic stuff. So like all of them are like bill collectors, man. All these people that we look up to, like Michael Jordan. Okay, everybody buy his shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he keeps some of the money, some of it go to the people that whatever, all these people that help prop them up and whatever. And then when he become a millionaire and billionaire, he buying from who? All his houses, cars, everything go back to the top. The little bit he give back, it's to farm the rest of the people back to.
Y'all better fucking listen, man.
Come on, man.
All right. So there's 5 minutes left. The 7 hermetic principles. Or you want to do? You want to spend a episode on the 7 hermetic principles?
That's where the 7 come from. Like your 7 senses, your 7 organs, everything work that way. It's like This is just how the order of the universe is. That's what these energies affect you. This is
All right.
how okay, um your body work. Okay, like when the aspects of the planet, right? You know how this is. If Venus is aspecting whatever, but just like how your body work, your whole endocrine system work. Like your thyroids have to get produce thyroxine, so your endocrine could produce use that to produce insulin, so you could metabolize sugars and shit like that.
But if you eat fake sugars, then you fuck up the
Well
endogram
then,
system.
right. So you mess up that whole system. You see, and most of what is the undefeated killer in the world right now?
Is it
High
diabetes?
fructose corn syrup, man.
Diabetes?
High fructose corn syrup is the one behind the diabetes. Yeah, so that's where the whole thing. That's how it tie in with all the language and everything, and that's what we use.
So let me tell you, 'cause I know um, most of you motherfuckers don't know what the principles are at all, period. You probably like the seven hermetic what? Alright, so there's the law of correspondence, which is how things tie in together. There is
The law of correspondence is as above,
So
so
below.
below, as within, so without.
how things tie in together.
Right. But that's the law.
Yeah.
Right.
Alright, so then you have the principle of rhythm, which everything goes to a rhythm, everything goes to a beat, everything goes to a pulsation, a vibration. Alright? Then you have
So wait, that's where your name come from, or your amen.
Mhm.
If just like your heart have a beat, just like your heart have a beat that you can hear. If you could hear all your other organs vibrating, right? Then it would sound like a melody, and that's how your name. That's where the origin of your name,
an
the
orchestra.
idea of your name, come from.
An orchestra.
That's where the idea of amen come from. That you are a god. And go ahead, continue.
Then you have the law of polarity, which is everything is the same. It just has a different aspect on the same temporal timeline. The easiest way to look at it is hot and cold and warm. Hot, cold, and warm are all the same thing. They're all temperatures. You get what I'm saying? They're just in different aspects, different polarities, in different spaces. You know, the lower you go, the colder it is. The higher you go, the hotter it is. And in the middle is warm. It's balance. You want to be in the warm space to have balance. All right.
That's where the sun goes.
What we on? 3 right now?
That was 3.
The law of gender. Everything has a gender, and not necessarily as boy and girl, but feminine and masculine.
It's
All
a
right?
vibration.
Yes.
Just like for you people that think pink is girl and blue is boy, it's actually the opposite way. Red is a masculine color, so every offspring from red is masculine, and blue is feminine. Everything from blue, offspring from blue, is feminine. And it has a specific vibration. How you know? The bullfighter or the matador, the Taurus Gemini, when he hold that red flag for the bull to go through, guess what? The bull is colorblind. So, go ahead, continue, Keith.
Gender, correspondence, rhythm, polarity. I'm missing 3. Help me out here. I'm missing 3. The law of mentalism. Everything is mental. Everything is mental. For example, nothing is created without there being thought first. As the Bible said, God was the Word. God said, let there be light. Okay? So, he was a vibration, a rhythm. what I'm saying? That created such. So, shoes. Before someone created a shoe, they visualized it, they saw it in their mental, in their mind, and then they created it in the physical. It was pulled down from the heavens, as you would say, from Aries to fucking Pisces, the feet.
Harmony is Trismegistus. What about the law of attraction?
The law of attraction.
Two correspondence.
I don't think that's a law.
No. Vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. Cause and effect.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, that's self-explanatory. The law of cause and effect. Everything
You
has.
went through all. That's the last one.
Everything has. There's always an action and a reaction. You get what I'm saying? There's always a logic. I mean, a reason for a logic. There's always a do and a response. Always. They tell you all the time, don't touch the stove because it's hot. You get what I'm saying? So obviously, if you touch the stove, you'll get burned. That's cause and effect. The cause was it was hot. The effect was you got burned.
That's why nothing is ever good or bad. It's just a matter of perspective on how you look at it. It's like if I drop this glass, I know it's gonna break. I drop it anyway. Well, it's not good or bad. It's just what's gonna happen.
An action and a reaction. The action was I dropped the glass, and the reaction was the glass hit the floor, and the floor broke the glass.
It's not good or bad or anything. Like when people look at things as good or bad or whatever it is.
All right. So speaking of that, like I'm finna go to the dark side right now, because I had this conversation with multiple people, and the most common thing that people like to bring into that. What about rapists? Rape is bad. From my perspective, is bad. You get what I'm saying? But obviously, to the raper, to the rapee, it's not bad. If it was bad, then he wouldn't do it because it would be bad for him. But in his fucked up mind, and my view that he has a fucked up mind because he think raping is fine. You get what I'm saying? This is what we mean by there's no good, there's no bad. That is only a perspective thing. You know what I'm saying? If rape was never viewed as we would have to go to as women were never viewed as people and women were viewed as objects over the whole world, then nobody would ever have the mentality that rape is bad, because nobody views them as people anyway. We view them as objects. So rape would never be bad. But since we were taught, you know what I'm saying, to a certain extent that they are people, then it is wrong to do something to a person against their will. You get what I'm saying?
It's like how these laws are too. It's like murder. Well, justice is an idea. There's no justice for hurting somebody or murdering.
I finna attack that right here.
Justice is an idea.
No. I finna attack just us. Like I have Jesus, just us, but it's gonna be just us instead of just us. Just us? Justice.
Yeah, so it's like justice is an idea, because if I do something to you, no matter how much time, if I accept the consequences, it's not even punishment. If I made up my mind that I'm gonna do something to you right now, whatever consequences come with it, I'm able to deal with it. But ain't no justice gonna bring your life back.
Nope.
You see? So it's an idea. It's like that's why the origins of being a man, or the acronym of a man, is master, able, and noble.
So
it's meaning that you. Yeah, so that's what it means.
This is what I'm gonna do. It's on 19. I'm gonna let this one go to 30, and then I'll just do it on my computer. All right, so this is what I'm gonna do. For everything we talk now, I'm gonna relate it to a Hermetic law. So what he was just talking about right now, is it being an idea, is the law of mentalism. Simple. everything is the 7 Hermetic laws. I don't give a fuck what you talk about, what you think about, what you express. A correspondent.
Right. Well, there's nothing outside of that. That's why I explained the 9 numbers, the 26 letters of the alphabet, the 12 signs, and the 5 seals. Well, explain something to me outside of that. Go ahead. Tell me something outside of that.
We talk about it all the time, but we agree to disagree on one thing. We agree on many things except this one fucking thing.
He is the Black Jesus of his own earth somewhere outside the universe.
There are other life forms, and he agrees that there are other life forms outside of this solar system.
Maybe. Possibility.
Okay.
Could be.
But he does not agree that there could be other life forms inside our solar system, which I do.
You gotta have water and you gotta have sun.
My argument to that is, if you want to look at it like that, I look at it as the planets in themselves are life forms. I mean, are life forms.
We're not getting into this discussion.
So you see,
because there's no other water in our solar system but on Earth.
The water had to come from outside for it to be here.
But the problem is, it's here.
It's here, but it came. It's frozen out there.
Where?
In space.
How do you know that? You see, you don't know that.
Okay.
You see how
this,
it could be frozen right here on Earth?
How is it not frozen? Because we have an atmosphere here.
No. I'm saying, how could it be frozen right here on Earth? I'm just saying, since we're talking in hypothesis.
Okay, I see where you're going with this, but you already know.
And no. You don't see where I'm going with this. I'm saying, let's say for a second that you're saying that, okay, you know how my thing is, wherever the sun is, that's where life is going to be. Okay, and wherever the sun is, that's where it's going to be melted, and that's where you're going to have. That's how we get the seasons and all the other stuff. Right?
But you're asking, how could it be frozen here?
No,
if it's frozen outside.
You're saying from space.
Yeah.
I'm saying, what space? How? What
Everything
evidence
is in space.
What evidence do you have that it is frozen ice from somewhere that landed on Earth? It's always been here.
It couldn't always be here because the planet wasn't always here.
Okay, I'm not talking about from. Okay, every time we have this discussion, pick a time in history that you want to start from. Because you want to have a discussion and then you jump from the beginning of something and then you got to pick a time, man. Just like if we're discussing the Egyptian with you, I need a specific period.
Hey, I want to time out right quick. This is why, because I can argue with this motherfucker right here, is why I know you would never beat me. All right, time back in. All right, so I want to start from. We can start from with water being here first. Well, we can't, because then we have to discuss how water got here.
You see, what does it matter?
What do you mean?
The sun is here. What if it was here and the sun just got closer and melted the ice and created the life as we know it now?
So what makes you
What's
think
that hypothesis?
You could be 100% right.
Okay, so because there is evidence of only the path of the sun. That's why the glaciers stay frozen and Antarctica stay frozen. Outside of the
because it stays on the ecliptic. It stays on the center.
Exactly. So why? I'm just saying.
You're right.
So it doesn't have to be some magical thing that water comes from somewhere. It could be the sun.
Like I said, then again, you could be right. But my thing is that the planet, the theory of the planets is not fact. I did say theory. So I know you're going to point that out later, motherfucker. So I'm going to point it out first. That after the Big Bang, everything mushed up together and made planets. And one of the planets got destroyed. This is how we get the comet belt, or so you don't think none of those comets or none of those asteroids are water, are frozen water?
See, I'm a very particular person.
They say it's more minerals in space than there are here.
When you start the conversation, or you start your soliloquy with the Big Bang,
Mm-hmm.
something that theory I don't support. Everything you say after that is like,
Okay,
well,
so then we gotta talk about that because the Big Bang, there's no way around the Big Bang. There's no way around it, nigga. You got here through a Big Bang. I got here through a Big Bang. They got here through a Big Bang.
yes, a theoretical Big Bang.
It's spiritual sex, like the spiritual fire that supposedly I'm gonna burn in. It's spiritual sex, which created
So
the Big
now
Bang,
you're talking about
the birth of the planets.
Yeah, but you're talking about. Yeah, but to get where it is. So if you're equating it to everything else and everything is moving and growing and whatever.
As above, so below. The law of what? Of
Correspondence.
Yeah, correspondence.
Right. So then everything is coming to everything is speeding up.
It is though. You see how hot it's getting? You see how the days are shortening?
What I got to do with speeding up?
It's speeding
If
up. It's
everything
speeding
is
up
speeding
around.
up
We're
as a
going
whole,
around the
then
sun.
everything is aging, meaning all the energies of all the planets and everything.
Of course.
Kinda
We're the
like
microcosm of the macrocosm. Once again, the law of correspondence. Or the law of rhythm. So it's a rhythm. It's
But yeah, but I don't want to go talk about aliens though, man. This is where you are heading. He liked talking about that aliens came from Sirius B, and that's how black people got on in the Dogon tribe, and that's why they smoke weed, and that's why they took over the earth before.
You want to know something?
then-
I don't even say all of that shit. He know this shit. He know it. He know
And
this
then-
shit. He know it.
Then you got guys like Abu Bakr Keita that 180 years before Cristobal Colon set sail from the west coast of Africa and Mali Empire.
And this is how
And-
what's the guy name with all the gold? Mansa Musa.
Mansa Musa ended
Became
up being
king.
the king after Abu Bakr Keita left and went to South America or Brazil. That's how black people got to Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
And then Musa went to make a pilgrimage, and then all the Arabs saw all the golds and stuff he was giving away, and then they started attacking his lands.
Ooh.
And then came the
Ooh.
well-dressed thugs later, the Romans,
Uh-huh.
and finish up everything.
With all their boyfriends.
Yeah. And
In case you didn't know, the movie 300, all 300 of them were 150 couples. This is for Sparta.
yeah, that was a. But it's like a lot of people don't know. They'll be having a girl go to Victoria's Secret. Well, the secret is
Victoria's
Queen
man.
Victoria was a tranny, and that was the secret. That was the secret. There was a man.
See, this is why I have so much fun with y'all. Even though all the bad stuff y'all say, if y'all would just sit down and say, you know what, today I'm gonna pick up a fucking book and read. Then I would be so proud of you. I wouldn't even argue. Like, you know how many people I come across that are educated, you know, about certain things, maybe not about other things, about certain things. I don't even fuck with those people.
You
I don't fuck with those
You know
people.
what happened though? They start off early. The whole system is set up so the kids have low self-esteem. So then they decide what's standard. So I have to have a pair of Jordans to pretend like I have to have something better. Never mind, my parents buy me everything that your parents buy you regardless. We don't have no job, we're going to school. You see what I'm saying? So then I get bragging rights over you. Oh, you got some Bobos on, whatever the hell you want to have on.
Some shacks.
You know. So, or some Marberries. but you know what I'm saying?
We
Like,
do everything for a societal purpose, not for an individual
right,
purpose.
But my son had broke it down from a young age. Like when the girl told him he got a big nose, he asked her, well, what's the standard size of nose that you consider pretty? Because I look around and everybody's got a different nose. And he taught me something. He was like 10 years old. And he did that shit then, from then.